sure you're still kind of taking notes off to the side about some of these battles. I'm including this map just because I think it's a great way for us to kind of visualize what's happening. But I'm still going to touch on some of the major battles, and it'll just help maybe us visualize what's going on. So, real quick, for step 3, we're going to highlight the countries controlled by Germany in 1940. So this is Hitler's very first kind of expansion. So if you don't want to like spend the time shading it in, I would maybe just even like underline them with maybe a red or whatever color you have. Maybe just underline the letter or the name. So this is where we talked about, you can see how Poland was split. This is where that agreement with the Soviet Union takes place. So Poland is split in half. Then you see he's taken over Austria, Hungary, Czechoslovakia. He then goes into a little bit of Denmark, just very easily takes over that, and even parts of Norway occupies as well. And because of the United States not giving France aid, France has become part of Germany's empire. No, it's not. Not yet. It does eventually. We'll see, you'll notice, like, once the U.S. kind of enters the war, Germany is kind of forced to start expanding down here in this area. And we'll kind of highlight that a little bit. But for the most part, they have expanded pretty far west with that taking of Belgium, France falling. So Germany has now it expands down here to Yugoslavia, Romania. You just want to like highlight these areas right here. We're not going to really focus on them. I'm just including this to like, as you see this map, like you can see why Hitler might start thinking that invading the Soviet Union and Poland might be a good idea, because up to this point, he has not been defeated yet. Like, he has not really faced any sort of real resistance. So you can imagine maybe why he was feeling so overconfident. It's easy for us to look back in retrospect and be like, that was an absolutely terrible decision to invade the Soviet Union, when in fact, up to this point, he thought, why not? Like, he's been so successful, might as well. So Greece is the next one to fall, thanks to Italy, larger part to Italy. So this is kind of like Italy's big offensive, like their kind of claim to fame in this war. Is for the most part, Italy is kind of just supporting Germany, sending them reinforcements, sending them some military aid, but not really contributing that much to like invasion or conquering. That kind of changes with Greece, where because they are so close, they are able to really kind of like help spearhead the invasion and occupation of Greece, and helped win that for Germany as well. So this is the Axis powers, you can see, have almost completely taken over Europe at this time. Spain right now is still in its civil war, so they're dealing with like fascism rising up there. So that's kind of off limits for Hitler at this point. He sees that as a win, the fact that fascist leader who agrees with him in many things is kind of winning that war. So we'll kind of ignore that one. But as you will see coming up, this is the decision that Hitler makes that huge mistake, and as you can see, we're about to see this get shaded in right there, that invasion of the Soviet Union. So Hitler not only made a terrible decision in invading the Soviet Union, but he chose the worst time to do it too. What do we know about the winters in Russia, or what can we surmise or guess about here? Terrible, like notoriously some of the worst in the entire world. So Hitler, with his huge tanks that have been able to just completely just destroy most of his enemies on the Western Front, he decided to send them to the Soviet Union. Well, he didn't really account for, because of his this lightning warfare that he does, the fact that with winter coming, all of a sudden those tanks, it gets so cold that the tank's mechanics start freezing up to where they actually won't roll anymore. So they can't even move. The gears start freezing up. Men are dying of frostbite.